A lot of Utah businesses have either closed or cut back a lot. This morning, we're learning about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic with new unemployment claims. Here to talk about the number is Kevin Burt, the Unemployment Insurance Division Director for the state of Utah.
Yeah, he joins us live now via Skype. Hopefully this continues to work with more on the numbers. And I am looking at these numbers right now, Kevin, and it is a sharp increase. Are you surprised at these numbers in unemployment insurance claims?
Yeah, it's definitely historic. Just for some of the numbers, 2 weeks ago, we got 1,314 claims. And last week we got over 19,000 claims. We were expecting an increase, but the increase happened very quickly.
And so how do you handle all of these claims? What's going on? What's your office dealing with right now?
Well, we're dealing with a lot of the other things that people have been doing. So one of the first strategies we did is we approved as many telecommuters as possible to make sure that we had the staff available, that they were safe. And then what we're doing is we're doing the best that we can with the volume that's coming in. The claimants have been great. They've been applying online, which really helps us. We've been trying to actively communicate that the best thing to do if you are impacted, if you have had your employment impacted by COVID-19, you should apply, but you should apply online. Make sure you fill out that application completely. And then with unemployment, there's not a need for you to call us. We'll call you. Right now, our call wait times are higher than normal because of this volume, and we're trying to respond to those. But in doing that, we're also it can delay processing. So we understand the importance of this benefit to these individuals, but if they can remain patient after they file and allow us to be able to process it.
Patience, I think, for a lot of people is in limited supply right now with just all the anxiety about how am I going to be able to pay the bills. And so I think a lot of people will say, okay, I'll be patient, but can you give me a timeline for when I might be able to hear back, for when I might be able to get some help? And is the federal government helping us enough in Utah to be able to help Utahns?
Yeah, I think for the time, as far as the timeline, processing timelines are about 14 to 21 days. Again, it's historic volume, so we're doing our best to be able to do it. Now, it is important to note that this is a little different than his other claims. A lot of these claimants are job attached, meaning what they're doing is the employer wants them back. So it's more of a furlough than a complete layoff. And so what that does is it does help the claimant that they're not going to be doing job search. And we're going to be able to give them some replacement wage through unemployment with the goal that once some of these restrictions are lifted, they're going to be able to return to their former employer, which is great for that business because they're able to retain this talent.
So they are still entitled to unemployment benefits as well as what's going to come in the stimulus package from the government?
Yeah, and the stimulus package is still not quite defined. It hasn't passed all levels, but one of the discussions is that you would get the benefit plus a stimulus on top of that. So the important thing is, and we're experiencing that, is that they apply for unemployment benefits and get the Utah unemployment benefit that they're eligible for. So we have our own trust fund, and you can apply and receive a benefit. And what this will do is you'll still get that benefit, but you'll get a stimulus on top of that if this bill passes at the federal level.
Okay, so what I'm looking at really quickly here is year over year, the number of unemployment insurance claims are up 2,000%. And so from what I'm hearing from you is after all this is over, hopeful, well, who knows when, but hopefully by summer, that these numbers will get back to normal and then go down 2,000%.
And that's the hope. The hope is that this is a furlough or a pause, that once we're able to get past some of these restrictions, economic activity will resume, and the unemployment insurance program is set to give them some replacement wage, get some money into that economy. But then once that business returns, all of these employers, as that economic activity improves again, will want these employees back, and unemployment will have served its purpose to replace a wage, but also retain those employees.
Other than the restaurants and the travel industry, were there any surprises as far as sectors that were impacted most by these unemployment claims?
No, in our release, it's primarily, or the largest is in the service industry and the food industry. So I think what you said is the highest number. But yeah, we're seeing claims across a lot of occupations, but certainly that is the most.
Well, Kevin, I don't envy your job right now. I know you're probably really busy right now. So thanks for taking the time for us. And hopefully you can get back to some normal hours soon, too, as well. Thanks so much for taking the time. Good luck with all this.